Hi, my name is Candace Shaidaee, and this is my 14th year teaching. I've been here at Live Oak Elementary in Livingston Parish for 11 years. In this video, you will see my 4th grade homeroom class. Today is an ELA block lesson from Wit and Wisdom curriculum. The lesson is from Module 1, Great Heart, and focuses on the circulatory system and nonfiction text. Our objectives are to determine main idea and details of nonfiction text, to paraphrase, summarize, and locate and interpret text features. Prior to today's lesson, students read and analyzed pages 1 through 20 of the book Circulatory Story. They completed a box and bullet chart on blood vessels, learned about text features, and began writing their summaries. The Wit and Wisdom Module 1 essential question is, what does it mean to have great heart, both literally and figuratively? The book Circulatory Story connects to that goal because it effectively combines facts and figurative meanings to aid in the understanding of complex text content. I use flexible seating to encourage open communication and provide a relaxed but challenging environment. Technology integration is used to provide student choice. I employ the use of peer helpers a lot that can effectively mentor my struggling students as needed. I provide typed Wit and Wisdom note sheets. Small group instruction is a large part of effective teaching with a class of this dynamic. And I have revised my teaching delivery methods to include more multi-sensory activities that allow for student input on learning and project completion. All students have shown positive percentage growth on their STAR reading report since August. This is only possible because I firmly believe that student success is directly related to their level of trust and overall investment in their learning. Last year, I entered into the Livingston Parish program for creating an increased technology and flexible seating classroom. Since then, we became one of the parish's first completely redesigned learning spaces and the first ever flexible environment at my elementary school. My deepest motivations come from the desire to reach all students, despite their socioeconomic status, background, or previous educational experience. I know that my greatest achievement at the end of the day is not whether they mastered every skill, but if I was effective enough to teach and reach the whole child, to provide hope where there was none, to provide light where it was dark, and to instill the valuable belief that every child matters. And it is my hope that these things will be evident in the video lesson summary that follows. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with today's lesson. Today we're continuing Module 1. We're going to be looking at parts of Lesson 12 and 13 for the circulatory story. Our question for today for content is going to be, what does a deeper exploration of text features reveal about the circulatory story? For our first activity, you are going to get some sticky notes. One is going to be something to visualize what's happening, and the other is going to be something that helps you find humor. Everybody know what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay, you can work with your shoulder partner or whomever you are by, and then be ready to share. Begin. Okay, make sure you discuss with your partner what feature it is that you found. You need to know, is it a diagram? Is it an illustration? And make sure you can tell me what it helps you learn about the text that you're reading on that page. Which, does it really look like that in our body?
No.
No.
It is showing us the heart, the blue veins, the red veins, and the blood supply to lungs. He gives CO2 to him.
And then he gives oxygen to him.
Right. Exactly. Let's go ahead and come back and share a little bit of what we talked about.
On page 9,
All right, everybody get there?
it says to body from body. It has a illustration, like a graph, of the heart.
And how did she know that this was a diagram and not just an illustration? What's the difference?
It has labels.
The labels. Very good. Oh, this is a popular one. Raise your hand if you found the same one as her. Okay, Layla, tell us what it is.
It's kind of like a train inside of your body.
Very good. And what does the train represent?
Humor.
Humor. Do you have a train inside your body?
No.
I mean, I don't think I do. Last time I checked, anyway. The red blood cells are like riding in the train. Okay? So do they actually ride a train?
She's going to help you visualize.
Exactly. So that's the point of these text features. It's helping us visualize. It's something that would normally be hard for us to understand. I want you to do a quick celebrity style interview. So that means you're going to stand up next to your partner right when it's your turn. And I want you to talk about what other examples of text features you think you see, and hands up when you find it.
I found on page 27, I found a diagram that's looks like what's under
All right, let's bring it in. Raise your hand if you can give me one we have not discussed already. Page 40, everybody turn to page 40. Here's one we certainly haven't talked about. And so what does a glossary do for us, Demi?
It says the meaning of the word. You probably don't.
Very good. So it gives us the words and the meaning so that we can better understand when we're reading our text. Stanley?
On page 14, it shows the shape and sort of the form of the artery, capillary, and vein.
Very good. So I have some text features here in this bowl. I'm going to let you and your partner pick one. You have to create a riddle that describes the text feature and what it does, and then you're going to ask it to someone else that is not in your group. Okay? So we're going to do that by doing stand up, hand up, pair up. And what do I want to see when you meet your partner?
High five.
Okay. I want to see high fives, right?
What did you say? I told you should have brought your book.
And bring it in. Raise your hand if anybody was able to guess yours. All right, Kyra, read it for us.
I have a big part in taking care of your body. I have different rooms in me. What am I?
And what was she talking about?
The heart.
Okay, so was yours a heart diagram?
On page 10, the cartoon.
All right, let's think about what we've been doing leading up to now. We alternate between an organized day and a reveal day. So today, like an organized day, we're talking about finding the main ideas, finding about what the text features are doing for us. When we preview the text features before we read our information, it helps us to get a better understanding. Let's take a look at our box and bullet chart in our binder. So we've been working on gathering main ideas and details that we can use for our summaries, okay? Does everybody have their chart?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Before we move on to the group part, and I know you're ready for that, we're going to do a quick Plickers review. For our Plickers review, we're going to review what we should do with our summaries. All right, everybody have their card. Check your number. Make sure your card matches your number. All right, paraphrase sentences use quotation marks. A is true, B is false. So let's look at what the answer actually is. How many of you thought that you should use quotation marks in paraphrase sentences? And how many of you thought you should not? When we paraphrase something, we do not use quotation marks. Okay. So now that we've reviewed what paraphrasing is, we know that we're supposed to use that to help us write our summary. When we're writing our summary, we want to include every single little bitty tiny detail?
No.
No. We only want to include what?
The big details.
The big stuff, the most important things. So you need to make sure when you're including that you remember all the facts that you've been gathering. Because we already know, if you can't, then you can't use it. I'm going to give you some time to work at your various stations.
Rotate, circulate. This is how we make it great.
Okay. If you need me while you're working, raise your hand. Remember, if you're still writing your summary, that goes first. After you're done writing your summary, then you're able to come back to the huddle space and present it with your classmates. Don't forget about watching our little video on the circulatory story, okay? So that's set up on station 1. You guys can do your presentations on the other stations. If you're waiting for that and you're done with your summary, you're going to be working on your compare and contrast diagram. We've got a big Venn diagram over there. Use your sticky notes so that everyone can contribute. So if you're writing on the left side, which is in green, you're writing something that is different about the circulatory system. If you're writing on the right side, you're talking just about a car repair shop. And if you're going down the middle, then you're saying something that they have in common. All right, so when you're done here, then those people will be working on their seesaw activity. I've uploaded an activity to review text features on there for you as well. Okay. Let's return to our seat. I want you to take just a minute to think about what you feel like is the most important thing you have learned from these lessons the last few days. It might be about text features. It might be about the circulatory system. It may be about our book. It may be about something about summaries or even the video. Whatever you feel like is the most important thing. I know there are a lot, but just pick one for our whip around, okay? Write it down if you need to really quickly. I'll give you about another minute. All right, let's get to our whip around.
Whip, let's explain it.
Oh, let's say that one more time.
Whip, let's explain it.
All right, let's get in our semicircle.
One thing I learned today is that the circulatory is very important, and this helps me understand because it uses both figurative and literal to help me understand what it means.
Very nice.
The most important thing I learned about this is the different parts of the body.
The most important thing that I've learned is that if blood cells work together, they can accomplish anything.
Just like us, right?
Yep.
All right, let's turn to our neighbor and say, you're awesome.
You're awesome.
And I think we did great work together.
I think we did great work together.
All right, and tomorrow we're going to finish up this lesson. Let's take our cards and everybody go back to our seat. After reviewing the finished components of this lesson, I believe that the lesson objectives were met successfully. Students were able to locate, interpret, and describe text features. Most students completed their summary paragraph, presented, and received passing scores. The cooperative lesson components flowed smoothly because students understood the content and supported each other in low-stakes information sharing. As far as what I could have done differently, I think maybe I would like to also give a cold read comprehension pre-test focused on circulatory content because most students had little to no prior knowledge of the circulatory system. This would allow me to see the progression of skill mastery on that topic more obviously. In the next few days after this lesson, students finished the circulatory story, did additional text feature activities, presented their summaries, and completed their seesaw charts, which parents can then view online. In conclusion, I believe that the days of traditional desk, paper, pencil education are quickly fading, and I want to provide every opportunity for my students to be successful in their future endeavors. They seem to not only be enjoying my classroom environment, but thriving in ways that many of them never thought possible. We lead with the knowledge that we will fail many times, but it's what we do together to get back up time and time again that truly matters, with reaffirmed confidence that no goal is unattainable if we meet each other all in every single day.